Hello everyone, welcome to the coverage for RBY overused in SPL 16, brought to you by yours truly, Marco SD. So we have reached the semi-finals, so just 2 more series in this week, and the final series the next week. So KAZ against SPIES. KAZ leads with Gengar, SPIES has Starmie. KAZ decides to stay in with Gengar, critical hit Psychic, Gengar is gone for nothing. Yeah, we saw this play from Felix last week, and this is something that Gengar lead players have to be ready for. I think you need to have a backup lead with Gengar so that if you're facing Starmie, you can go Starmie, and this way you're not going to lose momentum against a possible switch to Executor on turn 1 by the Starmie player. We have seen some Jinx, back Jinx teams indeed. So this starts as a 6-on-5. KAZ follows with Executor, and Sleep Powder connects. SPIES goes Executor, and right now KAZ has a status absorber in Executor, and SPIES has the option to use Explosion against this Executor and follow with Sync Chansey. But we don't know whether SPIES has Chansey in the first place. SPIES reveals Alakazam. KAZ goes Snorlax. SPIES uses Chansey as a switch in for Snorlax. KAZ scouts for counter, then makes a double switch, but this is not going to help. Snorlax against Alakazam, so Chansey is going to come in again. SPIES uses Thunder Wave, lands on Chansey. Couple FPs, so Snorlax comes in and SPIES goes Chansey again. And on turn 26, the fact that KAZ did not use Hyper Beam means that maybe he doesn't have it. So turn 29 Thunder Wave, and turn 30 means that KAZ definitely doesn't have Hyper Beam. These Earthquakes from KAZ aren't really scouting for counter, they are just a PP Stalwart. Chance is down to just a few Soft Boil. KAZ reveals Rest on Executor. Turn 50, SPIES reveals Reflect. And with just one soft-boiled PP, this makes me wonder whether it was the case to use Reflect earlier in the game. Turn 54, SPIES goes Snorlax, predicting Rest. KAZ is fully paralyzed, so this time KAZ uses Self-Destruct. SPIES decides to save Snorlax. He sacrifices Starmie, sleeping Starmie, and it's okay. He has a status absorber in Alakazam, 6 against 4. However, the thing I don't like on SPIES' side is that he's quite weak to Tauros right now, and Executor and Tauros are the only thing that can stop KAZ's Tauros. And this goes to show how frail back Alakazam is. So KAZ is very close to entering the endgame with Tauros. Spies goes Executor and forces Tauros out. So KAZ goes Chansey, and this is a chance for Spies to go Chansey and use Soft Boiled. But we don't know whether KAZ has Sing. Anyway, Spies goes Snorlax and uses Self-Destruct. So KAZ is left with just 3 Pokemon. KAZ reveals Zapdos. Zapdos can use Drill Peck, Executor uses Sleep Powder, then KAZ goes Executor, uses Explosion, and HPs are basically locked. Alakazam 81%, Chansey 39%. So maybe Spies has to switch out, but even that is risky. Zapdos can get a knockout, then it will be Thunder Waved, like Spies can sacrifice Alakazam and go Chansey, use Thunder Wave. However, one critical hit is enough for KAZ to get away with a healthy, fresh Zapdos, and even if Chansey can use Thunder Wave, Zapdos will use Agility. So I feel like KAZ has the advantage right now. Yeah, so Spies decides to stay in with Executor, risking the knockout to critical hit Drill Peck, and uses Sleep Powder, which is 75% accurate. And Explosion was also a reasonable move for Spies, but if it lands on Executor, he's going to have to fight against Zapdos. Turn 63, KAZ's Executor falls in Hyper Beam range, so Explosion deals with Alakazam, and the game eventually comes down to a Tauros deal. Yeah, maybe Spies can take advantage from a Hyper Beam miss against Chansey. So Spies has a slight advantage. Players try to draw intentionally, and this is a debate that could last a couple days. In the first place, this is not a 1v1 situation like KAZ can miss Hyper Beam against Chansey, Zapdos can wake up, so this isn't even a strict 1v1. Even in that case, there are many things that can be said. Tournament directors don't like this solution, obviously. On the other hand, asking for a draw isn't a great move. At the end of the day, the choice is in your opponent's hands. If they think to be better than you, they're just going to deny it. And if they think you are better, they're going to accept it, and that's not going to work well for you. So it looks like a lose-lose situation to me, but I can understand why players don't want to risk losing a game and letting it decide a series just due to a random number generator. So it's just an uncomfortable situation. Anyway, it looks like they agree to tie. They don't know how to stop the game, so they keep playing. KAZ wins the speed tie, and the tournament directors or whoever decided that the result stands. So KAZ won the game. Also, there are some things that stand out. First one, KAZ has Body Slam, Earthquake, Rest, Self-Destruct, Snorlax. This means that you obviously need to have Body Slam. You want Earthquake because Gengar is too common and Earthquake is just too important of a coverage move. And you want both Rest and Self-Destruct. I think we have seen Serpy using this moveset, maybe Amaranth. And I was considering this one in the past. I think I used it. And Troller himself, I think he was aware of this moveset, so definitely worth thinking about it. Jengar lead, not going to stay in against Starmie in the future, like in future developments for the tier. Rest Executor. On Spice's side, back Alakazam was disappointing. He didn't find the way to get the sleep off early in the game. Got it later on Zapdos. And after the first turn of this game, I feel like Spice should have won. The problem with how Spice played this game is that he didn't take advantage of Reflect Chansey. He had Sleeping Starmie, blocking Sleep, so Sleep Claws on. He needed to use Reflect, also trying to make progress through Alakazam instead of Snorlax. Yeah, the way Spice handled Chansey's HPs means that at some point Chansey was unable to switch into Snorlax. He had to expose Snorlax to self-destruct. So Alakazam was paralyzed, Snorlax was at 21%, Chansey was down to 39%, so all of a sudden Spice had no answers for Zapdos and Tauros. Game 2, Jinx against Jengar. Jengar gets the sleep, and after that Executor gets the sleep back for Spice. Turn 9, Spice lands Thunder Wave on Alakazam. Multiple switches, Executor and Snorlax meet. So right here KAZ can use Hyper Beam in case he has it. He pulls back. KAZ makes a double switch to Alakazam. Damage on Jinx. Damage on Executor. And Spice explodes. Trades for Alakazam, which looks like a good trade. Then Thunder Wave on Snorlax. Snorlax gets the Paraslam. Critical hit Body Slam, KAZ goes Zapdos. And it looks like this Zapdos is unchecked again. Gets the knockout on Starmie. Spice follows with Snorlax. KAZ goes Jengar, so Spice reveals Zapdos. Turn 26. Spice clicks Drill Peck, predicting Executor. KAZ goes Zapdos instead. So Zapdos Ditto. Spice pulls back on turn 30. He goes Snorlax and KAZ is fully paralyzed. KAZ goes Jengar, makes a double switch to Executor on predicted Earthquake. Spice doesn't get the Paraslam on Executor, so he pulls back. He goes back to Zapdos. No special drops. KAZ uses Psychic, Drill Peck. KAZ follows with Zapdos, which is going to survive Thunderbolt. KAZ uses Agility. However, he's fully paralyzed. I think Spice got what he wanted in case he has Reflect Snorlax. But he also needs to beat KAZ's Snorlax, and we don't know the moveset for either of those. Like, with Executor out of the way, Spice can be dangerous with Reflect Snorlax. So Spice sacrifices Jinx and we have a Tauros Ditto. However, Spice gets the critical hit and more importantly, the freeze. So he goes Zapdos And on turn 43, he doesn't use agility, so I feel like this Zapdos doesn't have agility. Anyway, Zapdos uses Thunderbolt against Snorlax. At this point, Spies decides to go Tauros. KAZ uses Body Slam, so this means that he's in Hyper Beam range. Good game. Spies managed Zapdos and Snorlax very well in the middle of this game. And some plays felt very unfamiliar, and that's because both teams were Chansey-less teams. Game 3. KAZ has Jinx, gets the sleep on Alakazam. Then Spies gets a critical hit Thunderbolt and Jinx is in trouble. KAZ goes Starmie on sleeping Alakazam. This is Surf Starmie, so it can both pressure Alakazam and land Thunder Wave on Chansey. So KAZ goes Snorlax, then goes Starmie into Body Slam, and this isn't nice. Being exposed to Paraslams, like Jinx is almost gone, and I don't feel like you can afford to let Starmie take a Paraslam. KAZ uses Surf, Exeggutor comes in, so KAZ uses Thunder Wave and Spies is fully paralyzed. Definitely changed the game. Turn 17, KAZ uses Blizzard, so this is Blizzard, Surf, Starmie. And this is very nice because Spies used Psychic, predicting Jinx. Turn 18, KAZ goes Jinx, and Spies is fully paralyzed. Then KAZ makes a double switch to Tauros, as Spies goes Chansey. I think Snorlax would have worked better. However, Spies is scared, switches out, KAZ uses Hyper Beam. It lands on sleeping Alakazam, so free switch for Spies. Tauros did again. This is the third game out of 3 where Tauros Dido is going to be very important. Spies gets a critical hit, so KAZ decides to opt out of the Tauros Dido. KAZ follows with Snorlax, so Spies goes Rhydon. KAZ decides to trade Earthquake before going Chansey, which makes sense because this way Rhydon falls almost completely in Blizzard range. Spies lands Thunder Wave on Snorlax, then goes Snorlax. KAZ is fully paralyzed, then goes Chansey. Eventually KAZ goes Snorlax against Chansey again. This time Spies goes Exeggutor. Snorlax is fully paralyzed. Exeggutor is fully paralyzed as well, so KAZ lands a Body Slam. And then he predicts Explosion, so he reveals Rhydon, switching into Exeggutor. Spies is fully paralyzed, so we don't know what he clicked. KAZ gets the knockout on Alakazam, 5-on-5. Spies follows with Rhydon. However, this Rhydon is in Earthquake range, so I think Tauros would be better. KAZ has the advantage. He has unstatused Chansey and Starmie, so Spies' best win condition is Chansey. However, KAZ has Snorlax, Tauros and Rhydon, so I feel like KAZ has the better route to victory from here. KAZ wins the speed tie, gets the clean knockout on Rhydon. Spies follows with Tauros. KAZ goes Starmie on predicted Blizzard, so KAZ goes Rhydon on predicted Soft Boiled. Turn 42, Earthquake, SPIES gets the critical hit ice beam, Rhydon goes down. However, putting Chansey down to 32% means that he's going to get a lot of easy knockouts in the future. Turn 44, KAZ uses Hyper Beam on Snorlax, and he knows that Starmie is going to get a knockout. Starmie Revenge kills indeed. SPIES follows with Chansey. KAZ decides to stay in and click recover. So SPIES is fully paralyzed, but he has a chance to use Soft Boiled the next turn. Turn 47, SPIES is paralyzed again, and KAZ goes Snorlax. So SPIES goes Tauros on Body Slam. SPIES uses Body Slam, KAZ goes Chansey. And on turn 51, SPIES doesn't feel like clicking Hyper Beam, predicts a switch, KAZ stays in instead, Ice Beam gets knockout on Tauros. So from this point, KAZ is going to win the game, is going to let Chansey get frozen so that Snorlax wins the game. However, KAZ sacrifices Chansey, which is a clear sign he has self-destruct. So good games, well played. SPIES didn't get the sleep with Executor as the only sleeper. He had a chance on turn 16, and KAZ just made quick progress with Paralysis, and he just outpaced. Then Shiloh against Isza. Turn 1, Alakazam against Gengar, Shiloh goes Gengar, as Isza goes Executor, so Shiloh gets the first sleep. Then Shiloh goes Articuno as Isza goes Executor, so Shiloh starts spamming Ice, and Isza doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to use Thunder Wave because he wants to land Sleep first. Isza uses Thunderbolt, but Shiloh doesn't care. This Articuno is the sleep fodder, so he doesn't care about damage. So Shiloh goes Chansey, uses Thunder Wave, and Isza goes Executor to get the sleep. Shiloh goes Articuno, sleep fodder, however Isza is paralyzed, so Shiloh is going to spam more ice. 8 moves, still no freeze. Shiloh pulls back, goes Chansey, and finally Isza lands Sleep Powder on Articuno. Then Executor against Alakazam. So Isza lands Stun Spore on Alakazam, then goes Chansey. So it looks like Shiloh is using Alakazam to stall, and is going to use Chansey as the counter for Snorlax. As long as it's on status, he has Chansey for Body Slam, Earthquake, Snorlax, and Gengar for Monolax. Turn 30, Snorlax against Chansey, Shiloh pulls back. So this might be a signal that this Snorlax doesn't have Earthquake, or maybe he just doesn't want Thunder Wave on Snorlax. But I feel like if you have Earthquake, you want to make progress here. So Chansey against Alakazam again, and this Chansey has Seismic Toss, so it's going to be effective against Alakazam. Shiloh wants to make progress through Alakazam, not Snorlax, and Isza is trying to go Tauros on predicted recover, but he needs to get a full paralysis. Turn 51 Hyper Beam is a roll, but it's risky, mind games. And on turn 52, Isza clicks Hyper Beam. So he really went for that. Shiloh goes Snorlax. And if this is Rest Boom Snorlax, this is a good time to blow up. He just clicks Body Slam, gets the critical hit. Then Isza goes Rhydon on predicted Hyper Beam. Very nice. So Snorlax goes down to 18% and Shiloh goes Tauros. He switches into Rhydon's Earthquake, which is going to hurt. And I'm not sure whether this is a good play or not. Like, looking at Shiloh's team, Alakazam is not going to win. Not a win condition. Gengar exploding is risky. And it's going to be countered by Chansey, Rhydon, Exeggutor. Articuno is sleeping. Chansey is walled by Chansey. Snorlax, I think this is Monolax. So it's walled by Gengar and also Rhydon. Yeah, it looks like Tauros is everything Shiloh has to make progress from here. Turn 57, Isza goes Gengar. Shiloh doesn't click Earthquake and Gengar wakes up very quickly. Also, these teams are quite unfamiliar, so it's hard for me to comment this game. I mean, when you have one team that you know very well and you fully understand what it is trying to do, it's easier. In this case, these are two teams that you don't see very often. Isza doesn't have Snorlax. However, Rhydon is very dangerous. But this looks like a scenario where both teams struggle to make progress. This is going to be a stall war. So turn 59, Shiloh goes Alakazam. And Isza goes back to Chansey. Isza uses Rest with Exeggutor. On turn 82, Isza goes Tauros. On predicted recover, Shiloh is paralyzed, so Shiloh goes to Articuno, possibly a sacrifice or a chain switch. Isza uses Rest with Tauros, so Shiloh goes Tauros, and Shiloh gets the critical hit. Both stay in, and Shiloh gets another critical hit, so Isza loses Tauros. So first knockout, Isza goes Starmie, and Shiloh uses Alakazam as the switch in. So Alakazam is in danger, and I think Shiloh wants to leave Chansey unstatused because he needs to be able to switch into Rhydon and force it out. Yeah, this game is very complex and unfamiliar. Alakazam pulls through, so chance against Alakazam. Shiloh goes Snorlax predicting soft boiled. Isza uses Seismic Toss instead and Snorlax is gone. So 5 on 5. Shiloh follows with Tauros, uses Body Slam, good call. Isza goes Starmie, no Paraslam. Shiloh makes a double switch, goes Tauros as Chansey comes in. Then he clicks Body Slam. Chansey stays in and Shiloh gets the critical hit. Isza follows with Jengar. And this isn't easy. I think he wants to land Thunder Wave on Chansey. Shiloh clicks Ice Beam against Jengar, then goes Jengar. And Isza's Jengar beats Shiloh's Jengar. So it's a 4-on-4. Isza uses Thunderbolt again, critical hit again. Jengar goes down. And Rhydon Revenge kills. So Shiloh follows with Chansey, Thunder Wave predicting Starmie, Thunderbolt, and Starmie lands Thunder Wave on Chansey. Starmie goes down, Isza follows with Rhydon, doesn't go for substitute, and I think this is mathematically correct. Isza gets the critical hit, Earthquake, so Chansey goes down. Shiloh goes Tauros, no freeze, no critical hit, Tauros goes down. So Isza wins this game. A very complex game. Unfamiliar territory. Lots of critical hits. Overall I feel like Shiloh wasn't lucky. Like spamming Ice Beam early, he didn't get the freeze. Suffered some critical hits. Then of course Shiloh got a couple critical hits against Tauros. And mostly Jengar woke up. But on Shiloh's side, Snorlax, I think this was Monolax, performed very poorly. And Shiloh's team was weak to Rhydon. Game 2, Jinx against Starmie. Shiloh gets the sleep. Then some Ice Beams and Isza uses Sing Chansey. Alakazam and Chansey trade Paralysis. Isza goes Starmie, burns one sleep turn, then goes Chansey as Shiloh goes Snorlax. Isza goes Snorlax directly, doesn't try to use Thunder Wave. Shiloh goes Chansey, Isza pulls back, so we are back to Snorlax against Chansey again. This time Isza uses Thunder Wave. Shiloh gets the critical hit on Snorlax. Isza uses Self-Destruct and he catches Chansey. And this is huge. Right now Shiloh's team looks weak to special attacks, especially Zapdos. Isza follows with Exeggutor. Shiloh goes Alakazam, and if Isza can go Chansey, he can heal up. Shiloh makes a double switch to Snorlax, predicting Chansey indeed. Isza stays in and uses Psychic. Then Chansey comes in, paralyzed. And on second attempt, Chansey heals up. Seismic toss on incoming Snorlax. Isza goes Executor and Shiloh uses Self-Destruct, so Executor is gone. Turn 38, Isza reveals Zapdos, which looks very good right now. Shiloh goes Alakazam. Isza gets a critical hit and Alakazam is gone. So I feel like in this case Shiloh had to stay in. So maybe Tauros against Zapdos was the best bet, and Shiloh follows with Tauros indeed, so last one is weak to Zapdos. Tauros beats Zapdos, but the last one for Shiloh is Starmie, so it looks like Shiloh doesn't have a way to beat Chansey. So good games. This game, game 2, Isza was supposed to win this game. Very nice setup for Zapdos, on top of a good matchup. The first game, it could have been different. So both series, the Classiest against the Tyrants and the Tigers against the Wolfpack, both went to the tiebreakers. So we still don't know who the finalists will be, and it will not depend on Red, Blue, Yellow. So we don't know the players, but we will meet again for the final series. Thanks for watching and see you soon.